Okay, good morning. This is the last unit of the class. We're looking at Unit 10, Section 1. We're going to be focused on 9 through 21 odds and solving each system by a form of elimination. So let's get right to it. You've already had some practice in Unit 9. So here, Unit 10, we're starting with number 9. 5x plus y equal 9. 10x minus 7y equal negative 18. So first thing I'm going to look at are my variables, make sure they're all lined up as usual. And here are the x's. If I multiply the top one by 2, then I would have 10x up here, and then I have a 10x in the bottom. So if I just subtract and I'm done, that'll help eliminate them. So let's multiply this whole thing by 2. Okay. So see, that gives me 2 times 5x is 10x. 2 times y is positive 2y, and 2 times 9 is 18. Okay. So now if I subtract them, okay, 10x minus 10x, this cancels out, so that's gone. Negative 7y minus 2y, negative 9y, and negative 18 minus another negative 18 is negative 36. Oops. Negative 36. There we go. Make sure I write that correct there. Okay, so now divide both sides by negative 9. And y turns out to be negative 36 divided by negative 9 is positive 4. So y turns out to be 4. Now make sure we plug it back up into the original equations to get what x is. So let's see, it doesn't really matter which one I plug it up into. Looks like the top one is the easiest. So then I would write 5x. There's plus y, and y is now 4. And that would equal 9. Again, plug it back up into the original one. And it doesn't matter which one you do. So take away 4 from both sides. Now I get 5x is equal to 9 minus 4, which is 5. Then divide both sides by 5, and you get x is equal to 1. So my final answer would be 1, 4. There we go. Okay. Number 11. Okay. Again, you can always go back up and pause it if you have to. Question number 11. The easiest ones here I think are going to be the x variables. So if I just multiply the top equation by 3, okay, then that will give me negative 9x right here. And I have another negative 9x, so again, another subtraction question. So let's multiply through by 3. So 3 times negative 3x is negative 9x, plus 3 times 7y is 21y. Okay, and then 3 times negative 16 is negative 48. So now let's subtract these. Negative 9 minus another negative 9, that's going to give us 0. And 5 minus 21 is going to be negative 16y. And 16 minus a negative 48 will be positive 64, looks like. Okay. Now simply divide by negative 16. And y turns out to be negative 4. So there's one answer. Now we plug it back up into one of the easier ones. How about the second equation this time? So I'm going to go negative 9x plus 5 times negative 4. Set that equal to 16. That means I get negative 9x. Okay. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20 equals 16. I'm going to add 20 to both sides. And that gives me 36 on the right, negative 9x on the left. Now simply divide by negative 9, and x equals negative 4. So my final answer will look like negative 4, negative 4. There's your final answer, okay, with all your work shown on the side. Okay, I'm going to flip this page over and kind of continue on with some of the odd ones. Alright, so now we're up to number 13. Alright, 13, I'm looking at 16x and negative 8x. This will be a good one to eliminate, because if I multiply the bottom equation by 2, then I can just add the equations. Okay, so then let's see what we have here. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16x. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12y. And 2 times 6 is 12. I'm going to draw a line through this equation because I don't want to look at it anymore. Alright, now I'm going to add these. The reason why I'm going to add is because this is 16x and this is negative 16x. So they would cancel if I add them. So I add these. Again, that's going to become 0. Then I go to the next variables. Negative 10 plus a negative 12. Negative 22y. And then 10 plus 12 is 22. Okay, now divide both sides by negative 22. And you get y is equal to negative 1. Okay. The next step then, solving back up and plug into one of these easier equations and see if y is negative 1. Let's plug it into the top one. So I'm going to go 16x minus 10 times negative 1. Set that equal to 10. So then you're going to get 16x plus 10 is equal to 10. And then the next step would be to take away 10. And you get 16x then is equal to 0. Divide both sides by 16 and x would equal 0. So there's your two answers, 0 and negative 1. Okay, number 15, 17, 19, 21. So there's like 4 of these left. Let's do, how about, they all require, let's do 17, 19, 21 require you to multiply both equations by a number. So let's do one of those. How about 17? Negative 7, negative 4, 8, and negative 9. Nothing really helps me out there. So let's go do eliminate the y's. So if I multiply the bottom one by 8, that would give me 72y. And if I multiply the top one by 9, that would give me negative 72. And then I could add those together. So let's write the next equations over here. So 9 times all of these inside would give you negative 63x. 9 times negative 8 is negative 72y. And 9 times 9 is 81. It's important that you multiply 9 by everything inside. The second equation, I'm multiplying by 8. 8 times negative 4, negative 32x. 8 times 9y is positive 72y. And 8 times 22, let's see, off to the side somewhere, I'm going to multiply negative 22 times 8, 16, negative 176. I just don't have my calculator this morning. Okay, so now, since I have directly opposites here, which is what I was trying to do, I'm going to add these equations together. So the y's are going to cancel. And if I add these up, I get negative 95x. Okay. And then if I go over to the right side, if I add an 81 to a negative 176, that's negative 95. Divide both sides by negative 95, and I get x is equal to 1. That is one of my equations. Okay. Now I'm going to let you plug this back up into either one of those, and I'm going to put y equals with a question mark. I'll let you figure that out. You can just plug x into the top one or the bottom one and work that out, and you'll be fine. Alright, number 19. I'm in the same situation I was with number 17. There's nothing in common, so I can't easily add or subtract them right now. Nothing I multiply the top one by will cancel the bottom one, so I got to do a double here. So I've noticed I can do 10 and 4. Let's do 10 and 4. I'll get rid of the x's. So if I multiply the top one by 10 and the bottom one by 4, that'll give me negative 40x and negative 40x. Then I can just subtract those when I'm done. So let's multiply through by everything. Get two new equations. So 10 times negative 4 is negative 40x. Minus 10 times 2 is 20y. 10 times 14 is 140. And same thing in the second equation. I will get 4 times negative 10, negative 40x. 4 times 7 is 28y. And 4 times negative 25 is negative 100. Now, since I have exactly the same x's, I'm going to subtract. So it's a big subtraction sign there. So if I subtract them, this eliminates. Negative 20 minus 28 would be negative 48y. And 140 minus negative 100 would be positive 240. Okay. So then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 48. I'll get y is equal to negative 5. And that's one of my answers I will get. Then you take that answer, plug it back up into here, and then I will let you figure out what x is. Okay. So that's why you're going to have to do this. The other ones, I'll give you a subtle hint here. On 15, if I multiply that by, let's say 4, that'll help because then I could subtract when I'm done with this one. So again, you'll subtract when you're done. And then if I go down to 21, see, here's your hint. I'm going to get rid of the x's. So multiply the bottom by 5. And then I'm going to multiply the top by 3. Okay, and then once you do that, then you'll be in an area where you can subtract the equations and finish those up. Okay. Good luck to you, and again, finish those up. Check the answers on the document that follows.